Hi, it's Nicole, and I'm dedicated to the art of a beautiful you. And by the art of a beautiful you, I mean an awareness of the integration of your mind, your body, and your emotions in a way that allows you to make decisions that genuinely reflect who you are as a person and what you want to give to the world. So today I want to talk a little bit about helplessness and the feeling of being helpless because not all of us struggle with feeling helpless in every aspect of our life, but most of us have one aspect where we feel helpless. One or two maybe. Like for instance, if it's time to cook or clean, I'm looking around for who they're gonna send in because no clue I'm not doing that. So so situations like that where you just feel like you don't have a lot of power or a lot of knowledge or things like that. So it's important that your mind is always open and growing. And so I'm going to give you ways to combat that. So let's talk about, like, obviously the opposite of feeling helpless would be the feeling of choice and an abundance of choices and decisions to be made. So one thing that you can do to help yourself realize the choices that you have in life are to look at your excuses. What kind of excuses do you make when you fail? Now, I want to give you an example, and then I'm going to give you 3 categories of excuses, and then I'm going to tell you which categories are helpful and which categories make you feel helpless. So, of course, you have your first category, and we've all heard excuses like this. I'm dumb. I can't test. I don't do well. I can't do this. I can't learn. Things like that. So, if you have excuses like that, those fall in column A. In column B, you have excuses like I didn't study. I didn't get enough sleep, I didn't come prepared, things like that. Okay, then in column C, you have things like, I hate that teacher, they can't teach, the test was too hard, that teacher doesn't like me, you have things like that. So whatever your excuse is, it's going to follow probably into one of those categories. So you really want to be careful of the first category of excuses where you're saying things like I'm stupid or I can't do it, because this category allows you no choices. And if you're feeling helpless, the last thing you want to do is offer yourself no choices. So this category gives you no choices. There's no way you can do better next time. There's nothing that you can do to change your situation. You're stupid and you can't do it. Okay, so then you have column B, which offers you lots of choices as far as you didn't study, you didn't get enough sleep, you didn't come prepared. Next time you're going to come prepared in this way, or you're going to sleep this many hours, or you're going to plan to study this much, and you can solve your issue. So then we have the third column, which is where, it's the teacher's fault, it's the test's fault, there's somebody to blame for that. And that also allows you options and decisions. So let's say it's the teacher's fault. They don't like you. You don't have a good rapport with that teacher and you can't learn from them. And let's say that that's the problem. Well, now you have some options. You can build a rapport with your teacher. Go out of your way to become comfortable around your teacher so that you can ask questions that you are comfortable with in class, or you can get a tutor, but those excuses allow you choices, whereas in the excuses of I'm stupid and I can't do it really offers you nothing unless somebody comes and does it for you, and we don't want to be that person. We're not trying to romanticize helplessness here. So then your other choice is to change your routine. Changing your routine really opens up the idea that you make decisions every day. So like, let's say your routine is you go to McDonald's every Friday, okay? And you order a number one and a Coke. Every Friday, that's what you do. Okay, so that brings you a lot of comfort and whatever, that routine. Well, maybe next Friday you order a Dr. Pepper instead of a Coke. Maybe you're more satisfied with that. Maybe you're less satisfied with that. But then the following Friday, maybe you order a number 5 instead of a number 1. And again, maybe you're less satisfied or more satisfied with that. But basically you're opening yourself up to making new decisions. And at one point, maybe on Friday, you have a choice between Arby's and Taco Bell and McDonald's, and you feel safe and comfortable in all of those choices. And that's what you want to get to. You want to get to a place where you can change up your routine just enough to make sure that you realize that you have choices and decisions every day. That will help you feel less helpless. Another good thing that you can do is, if you're feeling helpless, is build trust and rapport with yourself. So in my family, we all have a lot of pretend time. And so I'm suggesting that you sit down with yourself and you give yourself a little bit of pretend time. And you think about a situation in which there was adversity for you. And then I want you to think about how you handled that situation. And I want you to ask yourself, if you could have handled it better, what could you have done? What would you do differently if you're ever in that situation again? And then I want you to take somebody that you really admire and think about them. And I want you to think about how would that person have handled the situation. What this exercise does is it allows you to set yourself up to realize that you've already overcome adversity, and it allows you to see the ways that you do overcome adversity. And then it allows you to see that you can change those ways. And then it gives you a completely different perspective, maybe, than one that you would take. So that, again, is offering you choices. So I want you to remember that the opposite of helplessness is feeling that you have choices. And I want you to do something this week that changes your mind about the choices that you make every day. I want you to open your mind to a different skill set, a different decision set, maybe learn something new, maybe talk to somebody that you wouldn't have talked to, try a different route to work, order a Dr. Pepper instead of a Coke. Try something this week that kind of opens your mind to the amount of decisions that you make, so that you feel empowered and you realize that you have an abundance of decisions in front of you. Have a great day, and don't forget, take care of yourself.